Also an easy way to get right to the front of the line, but we'll tell you when that Chicago American Innovation Coin does sell out. Okay, we're ready for the silver Kennedys, and they are on sale. So silver is on sale today. Check this out. This is real silver, by the way, 40% silver, and it's $50 off our regular price, a set of 20 of the JFK $50. And tell us about these, Mike.
Well, what we have right here is the United States government made silver Kennedy $50 starting in 1964 and stopped in 1970. The last of the silver coins ever released by the United States government. And what we have here is examples of these, like I said, from 65 to 69. And as you can see, they don't have that telltale line. If you get any Kennedy $50 today, they'll have that little copper band in them. That means it's a clad coin which has no silver in it whatsoever. So what I have here is 20 Kennedy $50, silver Kennedy $50. If you've been following the price of silver, in the marketplace over the last 8 weeks, you've seen, well, maybe 12 weeks now, you've seen approximately a 20 to 25% increase, okay, over the last 12 weeks. Silver took a huge run. Matter of fact, in one day, I think it went up like 8%. So our response to silver going up, let's call it 20% in the last 12 weeks, is to reduce our price by $50. So to take this silver
I thought you were good at numbers,
and release.
Mike.
Well, what happened is when we decide to do these things, you know, here at HSN, we plan out fairly significantly into the future with that. And as we plan out into the future, we bought this inventory 12 weeks ago, okay, before this kind of increase in the price of silver. As a matter of fact, it had a little dip about 14 weeks ago, which is when we purchased these coins. So what we have here is silver Kennedy $50. So you're getting silver Kennedys, literally getting silver, and that's why I always do this. I mean, there's no sound like pure silver that you're going to have right there. And you're going to get those coins from a silver standpoint. So you're buying, in essence, in many ways, just the silver in this coin. I mean, when silver was $50 an ounce, I think it was like $399 on this particular thing. Now, here's the cool part when I got these coins. When I got these coins, they were, and you can kind of see right there, I can get a better look if I grab some of these right here. They happened to be, the batch that we got were brilliant uncirculated. So every single one of these coins is not only silver, look at that coin right there, but brilliant uncirculated as well, and there's the reverse of the coins. So now you're talking about substantial numismatic value. So much so that if you look at this, so we're giving you 20 coins, so you're less than $6 a coin. Less than $6 a coin. If you go to the nationally advertised catalog that I always use here, kind of the national retail, on a coin-by-coin basis, the lowest price they have for any of these coins in brilliant uncirculated condition is $19.50. Is $19.50. That's basically
like a third
$380 in terms of a numismatic value, a collectible value. We're charging, in essence, $119.95. I'm charging, in essence, the silver value. So all that incredible numismatic value is just kind of an add-on, if you will. And given the fact that these are 1965 through 1969, every one of these is guaranteed 50 years old. And so what we do is we're going to give you 20 of these brilliant uncirculated coins. And so what they do is they're going to come to you just like this, and they won't be, this is our sample set right here, and they're going to come to you just like that. And so that's the way they're going to come to you. And like I said, our feature pricing at $119.95, guaranteed, brilliant uncirculated, silver pricing, like I said, numismatic price, $19.50 a coin at a minimum. Like the 1965s, and they're in there like $25.50, you know, but $19.50 is the numismatic value, that collector coin value. But basically, we bought them as silver, so we sell them as silver because we don't anticipate when we get these coins that they're going to be brilliant uncirculated coins. If you were just got a little bit lucky in essence this time that we got these brilliant uncirculated Kennedy half dollars from 50 years ago, and to be able to give you that. So we give you that numismatic opportunity at no additional cost or charge. It was kind of like that in 2019 S. I'm charging you my regular price. I'm charging you the silver price on the 2019 S early release, but I'm giving you the information, the numismatic value of that coin, which could be substantially higher down the road. No guarantees on that, but like I said, I'm not charging for that. Same here. I'm pointing out, in essence, the numismatic value here in a big nationally advertised catalog at $19.50 a piece across the board, $380 if purchased separately right here. But we're doing basically, and look, when I was $169.95, it was a great opportunity. Silver has gone up. The numismatic value has basically, in essence, stayed the same. My price has gone down, and it's not gone down a little bit. It has gone down substantially. At this point, we're looking at almost a 30% decrease in the price from $169 to $119. Now, here's the interesting thing. Last time silver went crazy, okay, last time silver kind of, lost its mind, which was about 7 years ago, I was selling this same thing as fast as I could buy them, $299, $349, just because the value of the silver in each and every one of these kind of so substantially increased. So I've been doing some of the half rolls and all. I saved these full rolls as we're coming into kind of the, kind of the end of summer, if you will.
Sure.
We've only been able to do the 10 count rolls. So I'm able to do, as you can see right here, the 20 count rolls at $6, less than $6 a coin for 50-year-old silver Kennedy half dollars in brilliant uncirculated condition. Look, if you go in and let's say you were at a garage sale and you went in there and they have that pile of coins or whatever, and you saw one of these things right here and you picked that up and they said, how much? They go, $6. And you go, okay, I know it's silver. Yeah, okay, I'm good. And so, you know that's the case, and that's what we're doing. So once again, you're buying it at silver pricing, at the silver, based on the silver value in it. You get all that numismatic value, which is up to another $270 out there, and basically, in essence, at no additional cost or charge.
I'm glad we can give you that big savings, too. $50 off a regular price, as Mike mentioned, nearly 30% off. That's only for the quantities that we have remaining, so make sure that you lock that in. That's on 3 flexible payments, too. You make your first flexible